The world seems to be shifting, and it seems like it's on every front. Institutions we trusted, people don't trust them. They don't even trust their neighbors anymore. People just seem to feel it in their bones that something is different, that maybe we're at the end of an era or an epoch. And some people are going to some pretty dark places with that. Fear in the face of uncertainty makes sense, but I think we're all asking this question of, what do we do? What's different about now than when we were growing up or in the history books? What do we do? I'm not a guy with a lot of answers, but I'm working through my own. Maybe you feel it too. Maybe you think that the old ways aren't working, or there's some kind of shift happening that just you need to change personally in order to keep up or to do something to make sense. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just a guy walking right now. I think it does seem like these changes are everywhere. It's not just political, it's not just cultural, it's not just technological, although it seems like at all of those points we're at this major historic inflection point that it feels like we've never been there before. That could be true, that could not be true. Maybe we're overblowing the impact of technology and AI. Maybe we're overblowing the political kind of chaos and changes we've seen over the past handful of years. None of us can see the future, and it feels like the faster things change, the less we can see the future. And that means, it means it's harder to imagine the future that we thought we were going to be in at this point. And I feel like there's a bigger factor at play in that even our spiritual ideas are shifting. Our spiritual concepts, our spiritual beliefs as a culture. Some of us are going on these kind of individual journeys, and that's where I'm at. I think we are going to need some new perspectives, maybe some old perspectives that we've forgotten, and some new skills shifted over into this new thing. Because for me, I see this as a new opportunity for faith. Major changes. There's a new opportunity to hear what God's doing, to see what he's doing, and then to shift. And when it comes especially to like the technological front, the primary thing isn't just that we have the skills we want or that we think we need. The primary thing is that we have faith, we trust, and we do our best to stay human in a world that increasingly looks like it might be less human. I think that's where we need to land. So for me, I'm on a little journey. Past few years, I've been on this little journey, trying new things, picking up some old things. I've always wanted to be a creative person. I've always really wanted to make creative my career. And haven't always done that. I've always gone back to plan B, which is the safe route. It's always been back to, well, what kind of a job can I have? What kind of a business can I have that will allow me to do the right things that fit into what everybody else is expecting? Not to be the provider, which I still believe in. I just think I've been too let's say it, cowardly to chase what I feel God put in me. In 2 Timothy, Paul tells Timothy to fan into flame the gift he received. And God gives us all different gifts. And I've been snuffing mine. Been dampening it under this belief that no, I need to do this some other way. No, I need to find a way to make a living, and then I can do the creative stuff. When I really think God wants me to just do the creative stuff. So the past few years I've been on this journey, picking up things I put down long ago, passions that I gave up, like writing and drawing and painting. Still do a lot of ministry. I'm a bivocational youth pastor at this point. But God's got this calling. Some of it I've listened to, and some of it I've followed. And that's what this journey's been about, has been about continuing to do that better, to become more and more the man that he essentially made me. So, yeah. Whoa, I've lost myself. People think that midlife crisis is about, fast cars and doing crazy stuff like you're 20 again. Mine's looking more like a midlife curriculum. So I'm trying to pick up the things that I used to do that I loved. I'm trying to fill in some gaps in my education, specifically in my Western culture and history type of stuff, even though I'm pretty good off with that stuff. I was an English major, went to seminary. I was an art major as well, didn't finish that one. But I'm picking those things back up to fill it in, to restore what I dropped, and like I said before, become more of the man that God made me to be. The thing I gotta trust, though, is that he's going to be the one with the results. That's where I'm at. So this is a new endeavor I'm trying. We're calling it side quests. The main mission, the main quest, is still the same. To keep the faith and to be the man that he made me to be in faith and fatherhood and in my career. And these side quests then are the things that are meant to aid that, to level up, let's call it. This is the nerd journey from a part-time youth pastor, part-time fantasy author, part-time business entrepreneur guy. But I'm trying to level up. I'm trying to improve my skills so that I can achieve that main mission to do what God called me to do. And this channel's a part of it. I'm a slow writer. That's a big part of it. If I can walk and talk a little bit more free-flowing than I can sit and type, then maybe I can get some drafts out faster. That helps me put out more books. That helps me put out more articles that are meaningful to me. If I can walk and talk, I can learn how to be a little bit better of an extemporaneous speaker. That certainly would help with a little bit of teaching and preaching, wouldn't it? If I can double dip a little bit, hey, I can walk and exercise. That's why I can't track it on that thing. I got my weight vest. Get a little bit of extra exercise that I've not been getting sitting at the stupid desk, right? And if I can walk and talk to a camera, like to an audience, well, then maybe I can find the people who want to be on a similar journey, or at least somebody I can be a little bit accountable to for my own journey. So I'm looking for people to join me. I'm looking for people to say yes to whatever God's got for them, that they can maybe level up some of their own skills, maybe level up on their faith. Maybe my example would be an encouragement. Maybe I can say something smart or wise that helps somebody else. So that's what I'm doing. Whoa, stuff on the ground. I got 2 points here I want to share. If you know the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, he said something smart the other day. He said, I'm paraphrasing, and he was paraphrasing somebody else's, or he was riffing off somebody else. But he said, walking a mile has more in common with running a marathon than sitting at home. Walking or investing $100 has more in common with being a millionaire than being broke. Writing a sentence has more in common with finishing a book than not starting. And so the point was, the starting matters. Little things grow into big things. Big things don't ever start as big things. And I think God agrees. Zechariah says, don't despise the day of small beginnings, or some kind of paraphrase. Now that's a very specific moment in prophetic history that I'm not saying I'm going to claim in some way. I don't treat the Bible that way. But if you just look at how God made the world, he seems to think small things are important. Babies in the womb, sparrows, seeds. These things matter to him. So this is my small step. I'm going to ask you, what's yours? Where do you think God's taking you? Are you the type of person who has had this feeling in your life like something's changing? Something's changing in the world, something changing in me. And I got to answer that call, because that's where God wants me. That's what God has for me. If that's you, man, throw something in the comments. I'm new to this. I hope you are. Well, I don't know. I hope you are too, but maybe you are too. Or maybe you just got some new project. Tell me about it. Let's start working on stuff together, even if it's just over the ethereal internet. That isn't the real world, but it can help you build stuff in the real world. As I was praying through this, I was wrapped around the axle. I was pretty charged up about whether or not I should do this. I was not comfortable with this thought. And all of a sudden, into my own mental turmoil, God puts Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, which is my father's favorite verse. And he says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight. The word there for path and the word for way both have to do with the literal path, a road you're on, the direction you're going in life. And they also have another interesting piece, which is that they're metaphorical. I could have said that a lot shorter, but here's my brain working. The metaphorical side is the way you do things, the method you use to do things. I didn't know what God meant when he told me that, or when he put that verse in my head. I'm like, well, what do you mean? How does that apply here? Yes. Trust in the Lord. Yes. Make your path straight, or he will make your path straight. And I got to ask myself, well, okay, is my path straight? Am I trusting in the Lord? Am I on the path of righteousness? And then, if you're on a righteous path, then okay, you're going his direction. But what if you're doing it in an unrighteous way? That is the other problem. If you're going toward a good goal, but you're not doing it ethically, then you're not being righteous. And the only way he can fix that is to straighten you. to make you do the things righteously. So I'm hoping that we can grow in that together. This is the part that is the most uncomfortable for me. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what you think about where God's got you going, or even what God's doing in the world. But keep it honest and clean, please. Let's not be crazy. Throw something in the comments. And this is the part I was dreading from the beginning. It's one of my little steps of practice and improvement is I want to pray real quick for you. I don't even know who you are. I don't know where you're at. But since I'm walking, I'm going to keep my eyes open. I'm going to pray up to God. Lord, thank you for those seeds. Thank you for those dreams. Thank you for the sense to know that things are changing. For whoever's listening to this, Lord, I pray that you reach them. One, with the message of salvation through Jesus Christ, but two, with a purpose for their life, and that you give them the courage to follow it. That's all I got for this walk. God bless.